realize it's a work day, right? Yeah, it's a Monday. What do you see out there, Steve? Yeah, nothing. What is going on? This is weird.
Well, there's always something to see. What do we see, T-Rex? How about 3 jumps? 1, 2, 3, and let's go see what we see. What we see is a stratocumulus cloud touching the ground. That would be fog. So obviously, the temperature and the dew point are equal. There's dew floating in the air, so to speak. 67-degree temperature, 67-degree dew point, 67-degree water out there over the Atlantic Ocean. See? No, I don't see. I don't see more than 200 or 300 yards. Let's see, I can see my neighbor's flag. I can see the Weymouth big dig going on. I can see the concrete form guys singing and talking and joking. And we had Jimmy with the boulders moving the boulders around. That's since quieted down. What an unusual start. I want to replay my time-lapse webcam from up there showing this flag. It was gorgeous when the sun came up there. What was that, about 5:30 or so? A little later than that now, I think. And it was sunny for about 2 seconds before this cloud came in from the north. We had a backdoor cold front this morning. So unusual. Yesterday, it was supposed to be a warm front, and I guess the warm front came right up to our doorstep and stopped. And now we have this, a light onshore flow, and it shows up too in the regional roundup that I mentioned. It's 8 o'clock on Monday, July 28th, and this was the roundup from about 7 o'clock when I woke up. And it was close to 80 in New York City with a dew point in the 70s in Connecticut, 70s. And then the odd thing is, though, those lines, the wind barbs are from the north. So we're supposed to have this warm, hot weather coming in, yet the air is coming from the north in southern New England. Burlington is not the warm spot today. It's in Connecticut. And in Maine, we're in the 60s, and the dew point's still only in the low 60s. So it's an odd evolution, as we've been talking about all last week, the evolution of how this was going to all play out and what was going to happen. It's not raining, but this was a backdoor cold front, and it shows up on the surface analysis as a 10-11 millibar low pressure system just east of Provincetown, actually sinking to the south. So the warm front came in, it touched, and it lifted south and out like a backdoor with the airflow still from the north-northeast. Very light speeds. Now, this is very mesoscale. The satellite imagery this morning showed the fog there from the coast of Maine to the coast of Massachusetts. That's called advection fog because it moved in, it advected, as opposed to radiation fog, which we also have this morning in the valleys, or had in the valleys of western and northern New England. There was radiation fog. That's when you get radiational cooling at night. And then you also have convective thunderstorms well south of New England on the serious, real soupy front that is now off North Carolina to north of Bermuda, where we talked about perhaps something developing in the tropical cyclone department. And that's not happening, but certainly curious with this onshore flow and this dense fog over the Boston area this morning. This will probably lift. I can actually feel a little bit of drizzle coming down here. Oh, I forgot to check the precipitation amounts on Coco Raz for the last 24 hours. I think a few spots. One of the viewers, you, Tom, somebody got a 0.06 in the donut hole of southeastern New Hampshire weather where it won't seem to rain. And we picked up about a 0.05 here and did some cleaning of the garden and everything. And Steve did not catch any birds yesterday. We've got a pretty lengthy and more of our Not in a Hurry Sunday. And that would be Rex's line wrapped around you, Steve. It just always happens, no matter where we go. We're tangled. We're tangled web. So, yeah, like I said, this is mostly just coastal New England. And this low pressure system is this very weak low near Cape Cod is going to move east and out. And there's going to be a lot of weather. The national advisories, watches, and warnings. Probably the hottest weather for the nation as a whole is happening the next several days with these heat advisories in effect, or heat warnings from South Dakota all the way to North Florida. It's not continuous, but huge area of extreme heat happening, record hot. In South Dakota today, it's going to be 104 degrees. In North Dakota, it's only going to be 94 degrees, and that is the front that's going to gradually come our way. And the National Severe Storm Prediction Center says, wow, it's a 4 out of 5 on importance, significance of enhanced probability of severe weather over South Dakota. So South Dakota on the watch for tornadoes today. And yesterday, Brandon Kopik was doing a selfie with a tornado behind him in Watertown, South Dakota. It's chase-cation season. People take vacations to chase tornadoes. I don't know, it's kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? Wouldn't you want to run away from a tornado? The weather does that to people. It's gripping. Sometimes you just can't look away. Oh, get the horn sounding. I've got my noise-canceling microphone on, so when I zoom, it doesn't make any difference to the audio, and it also cancels some of that noise, so you can't really hear it that much. Do excavators come with fog horns? Is that your fog horn? Is that Luciano in the excavator? So they're at once doing the concourse right here, and also rebuilding the revetment a little bit. So everything's getting tweaked all along. If you're new here, this is called the Weymouth Big Dig. We're on the Great Wall of Weymouth overlooking the Gulf of Weymouth, where you can barely see out to the Yggdrasil. And this is about as dense fog as you can get because, once again, with soupy air and a little backdoor cold front this morning. Okay, now let's do the forecast going forward. I didn't show the radar. Radar shows like 3 batches of heavy precipitation, one up in Canada, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, stretching south into North Dakota, South Dakota. We got another one coming out of Iowa, of course, into Illinois, and then another one off of North Carolina. I don't know if I hit hard on that convection that was off the coast. I think I did. Cumulonimbus, well south of New England. And all these fronts are going to kind of advance in our direction. So as these storms from the Midwest go to the north of New England, that's going to pull the real heat in here. The meteogram for Boston, the Euro, that's doing an okay job now. It's back on track with temperatures in the mid-80s in Boston, but low 90s inland today, warranting the heat advisory with the dew point coming up out of the 60s into the 70s. And tomorrow we are about 95, 96 degrees, very close to record high temperatures across central and much of New England. And there's a slight chance of a light sea breeze. It's not a very strong flow. And it looks like tomorrow is the hottest day of the week. Wednesday, we step it back down to about 90. So parts of New England are in a heat wave. Now would be day 1, day 2, day 3 would be Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday. It's always a Thursday, Friday front. The Euro has slowed down that front on Thursday, and it lingers into Friday. And then temperature only in the 70s with rain developing Thursday, and then in the 60s with torrential rains, according to the Euro, on Friday, ending just in time for a nice weekend with temperatures only in the low 70s by Saturday and going back up into through the 70s to 80 on Sunday. We talked about that real cold coming at Eastern Canada, and it's so hot in the United States. That's the battle zone that we're going to have to put up with on Thursday, Friday again. And now let's put it into motion using the Euro model. And you can't really make it out, but there is a weak wave south of Nantucket keeping that onshore flow. The big storms are developing over the northern plains. The heat's coming our way. You've got the 570 to 570 thickness, 576 thickness, and that means the temperatures are 90 to 96 tomorrow. Thank goodness no 582. That is over the central part of the nation. The thickness means it's 100 degrees in Illinois tomorrow, and the coastal front is gone at this point, and we have the front in Canada that's going to be generating heavy weather in Ontario and Quebec tomorrow. There could be a thunderstorm near the Canadian border late tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we do start getting into the scattered thunderstorms with the 540 line going north of us and the 576 line right over us. That's a serious front, and the wave on the front, which started showing up 3 days ago, and it faded a little. Well, it's doubled down and then some on Thursday. The front stalls at the south coast of New England with waves of low pressure, only about 10, 12, but it's a strong high, not digging in here, digging into the Midwest, and the front just can't get offshore, so it keeps the rain going on Friday. And torrential downpours and flooding, if this is right, We will have 3 to 5 inches of rain in southern New England on Friday, and then that is out for Saturday just in time. The front goes offshore Saturday morning. That high pressure system's coming in. Upper level low pressure in eastern Canada is lifting out, so we're going to stabilize the atmosphere. The sun is going to come out, and it's going to be pretty chilly. Record low temperatures possible on Saturday morning before it warms up on Sunday. And that high pressure system is getting right over us on Monday. Looks beautiful. And then here comes another pretty serious cold front there out of southeastern Canada coming in on Tuesday the 5th with some more showers and thunderstorms. And that front looks like it's going to get just south of us by Wednesday the 6th. This is now out 9 days, 234 hours from initializing yesterday. And so it shows a cooler air mass for New England with high pressure coming in here and more pleasant weather. And the southern end of that cool high means trouble around North Carolina. And I think at this time we're going to get into serious, more serious, not real. It's not that bad, but there is tropical trouble on the horizon on the backside of that cool shot near North Carolina. And also another batch of rain, it looks like over the Great Lakes, and another batch in Canada. That is the edge of the heat. The 582 thickness has gone back up into Iowa again. Well, not quite Iowa, it looks like Kansas. So the 582 thickness, 100 degrees, Colorado and Kansas. As we go into the first week of August, the heat's still going to be there. It's not going to be as widespread as right now, but tropical season's going to really activate, and Canada is going to get colder again. Canada's been pretty cold off and on all summer. That's the reason we've had so many flash flood events. It takes two. You know, you get the high dew point, and but you also need the cool air for condensation and to make it rain. And so that's going to be the real battle in here after this probably 4th heat wave of the season in New England. Come flooding rains and then really nice weather for the weekend. Square? Are we square? All right. The end of the weather. That was a little more than 12 minutes of weather, including that intro. I'm going to watch the fog burn off today. It's going to be a very interesting time lapse tomorrow. Pretty interesting time lapse from yesterday. I was trying to see how much rain we could get, and not very much. I think some parts of New England did come in with a ½ inch of rain, but I think it was a little less than expected. And it turned into a fairly nice evening, but I was very curious what was happening with the front. I couldn't figure out this warm front yesterday. Every warm front has its own character. I guess every front has its own character, so instead of a warm warm frontal passage, we had a warm fro without the pa. It just didn't pass. It stalled over us and then receded south. All right. Very interesting. Very interesting down here for so many reasons. Probably talk more about that tomorrow. And in the meantime, and more from yesterday as T-Rex goes up the stairs and Steve stares into the birds with the 3rd round of roses coming out on my rose bush. Oh yes, we're going to talk about gardening and what berries are in bloom in my neighbor's garden. Steve, can you stop that? Oh, Finch. Finch just went right in there. Almost to the end more. You see the finch? Can I get a close-up of a finch? Ah, he's in there. All right, and more from yesterday. Mitt sighting. We got a Mitt sighting.
And more in this Not in a Hurry Sunday morning. It's in the low 70s. Looks like rain is imminent, so it's coming a little earlier than I think some of them said. And how patient. Steve and Mitt, they kind of always appear at the bowl at the same time. And Mitt, the elder statesman, so patient. Steve just turned, what'd you turn, 4 a short time ago? We missed your birthday. And Mitt is, I believe, 13. And quite a character. Christine made these for us. Mint, under the mint. Catitude is everything. Thank you, Christine, for this beautiful art. Oh, where you going, Steve? Just wanted to get you and Mitt together. The Carolina Wren out there singing. And the rain is imminent. 9:30, reading the comment from Linda in Princeton, Massachusetts, watching that incoming rain do a split around central Mass. It's not even going to make it to the Quabbin for the effect. In other words, the rain often dissipates coming across the Quabbin Reservoir. Body of water is a stabilizing dynamic. Meanwhile, Four River Bridge is going up. See how much rain we get here. It's not over yet, Linda, is it? 10 a.m. There are raindrops, but enough to water the gardens? We'll see. Very light rain. We had a low dew point, had to saturate the atmosphere. Low levels of the atmosphere have to be saturated before the rain can accumulate. That's what we say in winter when it was snow anyway. Correction, 11 a.m. The signs say the Gulf of Weymouth. I never even noticed that before. Maybe I should put on my windshield wipers. And we've got one group ready for anything right there on the beach. 11 a.m. and it looks like we've got some pretty fat raindrops, maybe ready to accumulate. Oh yeah, high season for sunflowers. Gorgeous. 2 o'clock, 70 degrees. Feels like the warm front's just about here. Often that comes with fog and low clouds and drizzle, but this warm front, I don't think it's going to have that. The sun looks like it's trying to break through, and by the looks of the radar, we're done with any steady rain, which we only had about 90 minutes. Did it accumulate? Would it have accumulated if it were snow? 0.04 approximately. So yeah, we might have picked up a quarter to a third or a fourth, 4/10 of an inch of snow if it were winter time. It would have been disappointing. It looks like most of us did not even get enough to make a puddle. I don't see any puddles really. Oh, there's a tiny puddle right there, TK. And we've got some fun sky waves. Some undulating altocumulus up around 10,000 feet. The wind is out of the west at about 20-30 miles per hour while down near the ground. Lighter wind, which is now coming around from south to southwest. And so if we can get the sun out, we might push 75 to 80 this afternoon. So a weak warm front for the most part. Pretty interesting watching it all week long. So I'd say the GFS was too cold and wet. The Euro was too warm and dry. And you add them up and divide by 2 from the forecast 4 days ago. That's how you do the weather. And a lot of experience and intuition also helps a little bit. Oh, that flag's still coming from the northeast. Interesting. I'm letting some of the prettier weeds stick around this year. I like the flowers in this one, and the cabbage butterfly, the cat mint tracking bumblebees right now. We'll get the animals out here. Wanting to be. Very modest garden here in the front walkway that I try and keep weed free, but this stuff comes up every single day and it grows so fast. I just asked iNaturalist what it is. iNaturalist says it's common purslane, also known as little hogweed or pursley, and it does make pretty flowers eventually, but I just can't keep it out of there. It's a succulent. Suck this. Get out of my garden. I want more of these. And the mums are coming along nicely. And so is the sun. Hi.
How's the weather looking?
How about down the beach? Surely there's got to be some activity down the beach. Oh yeah, we got loaders, caterpillar, excavators. Sky's turning blue. And plenty of room for you. And you, and you, and you. Not one soul on the beach here. Sunday, July 27th, 3:30 p.m. Mine. I like a little outdoor activity. Yard work is my gym. Bert's boat yard. Could use a little spiffing up. My pleasure. It's a tad noisy here by the street and there's a dog, but how about a state of some of the fruit trees? Apples coming along nicely. Got a little roadside garden here with lots of beans and gourds, and I see some tomatoes starting to turn red in there. Organic. Blueberries and vegetables. Now throw some wind in there. What do we have here? These pears or peaches? Yes, they are pears or peaches. What about down here? State of these blueberries. We got some almost green, some almost purple, and some almost blue berries. So blueberry picking season has arrived. And not that good with my raspberries and blackberries, but I'm thinking these are blackberries. So we got red, and blackberries here, and zinnia and sunflowers, as we saw some sunflowers earlier. Fore River, Mill Cove, sun's out, it's getting better by the minute. And how about a state of the color of the grass here at Wessagusset, where we had that flood nearly 3 weeks ago on a Thursday, wasn't it? Around July 10th and 11th. Well, since then, the grass has turned all green again. Shocking. So we have green grass in July. We had a 5-inch rainstorm then, and 6 weeks ago we had a 5-inch rainstorm, but there was a whole bunch of dry in between. So green grass in July, and with the forecast for this Thursday of more heavy rain, we're gonna have green grass in August also. Can we do it without the flooding though? That's yet to be determined. All right, to the backyard. What's next? Learning how to ride bicycle. Quiet Riot, it's funny. Just got in, he said, I ain't in no hurry. Ah, me too. Catalpa, string bean tree. Green. One of the staging areas for the big dig down here. Rebar farm, also green. That all stacked, the kinds you need. These are the kinds we need. Right there. Concourse width. Full circle from a few hours ago, and now we have one family on the beach with the dog, and more staging for the big dig. And I think the day's going to keep on getting better. It's 77 on the dashboard thermometer, so Euro got the temperature right. GFS got the fact that it was going to rain some right. Add them up and divide by 3. Two bunnies chasing each other in circles right there. Come back. So both Doug and I each saw a hawk with a bunny today flying around. I know. It's supposed to be a happy video, right? Not in a hurry. Where's the other one? There's the other one right there. See its ears? In the upper right. If I be like Elmer Fudd, I'd be very, very quiet. I'm hunting a rabbit. Maybe they'll come out. Sparrow. So I'm not supposed to put people to sleep on a Monday, Tim. You're supposed to wake them up. Cabbage patch butterfly. Come on. Do your thing again. They were just circling one another. It was so cute. Oh, nice to see you, Mitt. Made his way out here for sunset. Actually, sunset's still a couple of hours away. And we've made it up to 79. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Still kind of warm front dragging its heels. I think we've got a ways to go with the warmth, and the humidity is coming up, so maybe we'll leave the windows open this evening and overnight, and then close them at sunrise and turn on the air conditioning tomorrow for the heat advisory. Can you share that with Mitt? Give Mitt some mint. Yeah, sure. Where's Mitt anyway? You seen him? Oh, there he is. Hi, Mitt. I know where he likes to go. Right over there to that rock. I'm better at forecasting what the cats are gonna do than what the weather's gonna do. Yeah, Mitt. You do that. Watch out for the bees, though. Whatever he says, whatever. Oh, it was a baby bee. Steve, what are you looking at? The bird. That's what he's looking at. Of course. He likes that they fly right over the table from that bird feeder over there to this bird feeder over here. He reaches up and tries to grab them. All right, pushing 7 o'clock. You know, every warm front is a little different. A lot of times they're oriented southwest to northeast, but this one's oriented south to north, sort of coming across the Connecticut River bodily from the west. So you learn a lot from every different warm front. There still looks like there could be some lower clouds and a little bit of drizzle before we get into the really purely sort of tropical air. But we're gonna hold out for a little sunshine. Steve and Mitt have not moved, even though I've been mowing and trimming right around them. just happy I'm not trimming them. Not Mitt. 7:10. Chill in. Are Mitt and Steve a little spoiled? I'd say. He was sleeping too. I just woke him. The sun is about to go behind the cloud, but it definitely achieved beautiful Sunday evening status. Mid-70s, nice breeze. And trying to steal the show. It's not much of an effort, is it, to steal the show when you're so handsome? Steve and Mitt concluding our not in a hurry Sunday with the perfect vibe. As long as there's no birds or other creatures nearby. Oh, Steve's making a move. All right, piano time. Time-lapse time. Not your garden variety, warm faux pas. I love warm fronts. Every one of them has its own character. This one was very gentle on us. No fog and drizzle, which is unusual. It's because it was south-north instead of east-west. And there was no cold air damming because the cold was just not that cold. And there goes the sun. And there's Steve and Mitt and Cape Cod. I think it was underachieving rain for the most part. Is it raining on Cape Cod? I honestly don't know. I would think stratocumulus. Maybe a break of sun. Because I don't see these before I start talking about them. Say see you tomorrow. Good enough. Steve, you get some critters down here. Can you say see you tomorrow? Oh, look at that. It's like a double B. What was that? It was like a double B. I'm not sure. But I don't think we want any part of that, Steve. You know what I mean? You graze. I say good night. And we'll see you tomorrow.